I got rid of about 90%, I would say, of all of my clothes. And it's not because I don't like clothes. Let's get that straight, because that's very much not the case. I did it because I realized that my wardrobe had become a museum in my house of all of the different versions of me that I thought I might become. Every item was dripping with the hope that I would be different one day, that I would be this version of myself that only existed in my imagination. And the strange thing is, the important thing is that decluttering those items brought this fidelity into my life that I was not expecting. I just thought I was tidying. All of the good things in my life and all of the things that I like about myself now, I can kind of trace back to that decision of decluttering. It changed how I understood myself, how I spent my money, how I thought about my time and my energy. And it led me to finally be able to stop building a life for an imaginary version of me, instead of actually forming a good relationship with the version of me that is here and that exists and that is real. Because imaginary people don't need clothes. They don't exist. Anyway, here are 5 of the most beautiful reasons as to why I decluttered 90% of all of my clothes. I was dressing imaginary versions of myself. I had so little patience and time for the person that I really was, the person who was there day to day with my own habits, my own quirks, my own personality, living the life that I leaded. Didn't have time for any of that. I wanted to live in fantasy and these ideas of these evenings that I might spend wearing this dress. I think I saw indulging in imaginary and fantasy versions of myself as an escape from who I was, because I hadn't yet built a relationship with that person. I spent a lot of time annoyed at that person because they weren't as good as the imaginary versions of myself, which is really sad. I thought that buying clothing and owning clothing would be the catalyst to change. Very naively, didn't realize that change comes, like meaningful change, I should say, comes from hard work and doing things and discomfort. Basically, I wasn't just keeping clothes, I was keeping options. I was keeping my foot in many doors. That's what it felt like anyway. And options feel like freedom until they make the life that you are actually leading feel like a waiting room, like you are just waiting for the next montage. That's what I felt like. I was longing. I had this deep desire for a montage. I just wanted to, wake up one morning and I was just a different person and everything would be better. And I explored this through clothes, because clothes just felt like the shortest shortcut. But there is no shortcut. And it made my day-to-day feel like that wasn't living yet. I'll be living when I'm like this, or when I feel this way. So decluttering those clothes forced me to stop asking, who would I be if I wore this? And made me start asking, does this actually belong in the life that I am living? Number 2, I learned the difference between liking something and choosing it. Now, when it comes to clothes, I was very much of the rule, I would say, not even the opinion, the rule that if something flattered me and made me look nice and feel nice, then I had to own it. I had so many dresses for occasions that I never went to, occasions that didn't exist. I was prepared though. I had the outfits ready. And you can like something and admire it and think it's beautiful and think it's been beautifully made and you love the pattern and the colors are amazing. You can experience all of that and still not choose to take that thing home with you. Not everything belongs in your life and in your space. Decluttering my clothes taught me that liking something isn't the same as choosing it. And this, when you build it outwards, when you extrapolate it to the rest of life, it can be such a beautiful thing. Because whether it's opportunities or identities, projects, habits, places to live, ways you can spend time, what motherhood might look like for you, whatever it is, you can appreciate it, you can admire it, you can think it's beautiful, and you can not choose it. It's possible to hold those two things at once. By choosing your real life, you are not betraying your fantasy lives. You actually have more chance of creating the version of your life that you want to exist if you form a good relationship with who you are today and the life that you're actually living. And I personally found that through the wardrobe was the best way to do this. Having discernment and making choices with regards to what your life is going to look like is how you give your life shape and how you make your life feel like yours. We can't keep ourselves available and open to every single possibility. Number 3, again, tied up in identity. I stopped using clothes as proof that I had become somebody. I was asking my wardrobe to convince me that I had become somebody that I had not yet practiced being in any way. Our wardrobes can absolutely support our identity. I am in no way saying that clothes and who we are two separate things, and you should be able to wear a bib bag and feel amazing because, mind over matter. That's not it at all. We are absolutely influenced by what we wear and what we surround ourselves with, but a wardrobe cannot do the becoming for you. If you want to become something, that has to be done away from, in addition even to the clothes. Clothes have the ability in part to express some part of who you are, but they are no substitute for actually having a relationship with yourself and understanding what your life looks like and who you are and what your habits are and how you spend your time. I had to stop buying clothes for a version of me that I hadn't even met yet, and actually get to know the person who was here. So instead of asking, would my ideal self wear this? I had to ask, would I wear this? Would I actually wear this? Is this actually something that I would wear? Do I feel like myself in this? Who is myself? What does she like? Does this item of clothing support my actual movement and my body and the climate that I live in and the lifestyle that I have and my values and my energy and my work? Does this actually contribute anything? Is this in alignment with the life that I'm actually living? Which means you have to understand the life that you're actually living first. That's a big one. Number 4, removing the wrong things from my wardrobe and life meant that I could start choosing and making room for the right things in my wardrobe and life. I felt very much before minimalism like my home was my enemy. Keeping it livable was really, really hard work. And I didn't realize that didn't have to always be the case. Clothes are not just to be worn. They are to be washed. They are to be cared for. They are to be ironed. They are to be managed, organized, stored effectively. They are to be tried on and rejected. They are to make you feel bad about yourself in some way sometimes. They are to feel guilty about buying in the first place, feel guilty about not wearing. When you have a wardrobe that doesn't accurately reflects your life, it doesn't just take up space in your home, it takes up space in your head and in your day and in your schedule. Too many clothes causes excess friction in your day, but also too few clothes. I found myself in that situation recently. I like having a small wardrobe. However, summer in Japan, I've had to buy some more clothes because I sweat more now than I ever have done in my life, which is beautiful. And it's meant that actually having enough clothes to wear in a week has been tricky. But again, this is the idea. It's not about having the smallest wardrobe possible. It's about understanding your life and making sure that your stuff is aligned with it. And I like buying clothes, so I am not complaining. And also, there is a secondhand shop one station along from me called Second Street. There's a few Second Streets, but one's very close to me. Japanese fashion is amazing, and I'm getting things for like £2.50, and I'm very happy. So I'm very much not saying that you need to get rid of 90% of your wardrobe, but I'm saying that for me, getting rid of 90% was the point where the clothes that I owned actually met the life that I was living in some meaningful way. I no longer felt like my stuff and my life were arguing with each other. It was the same when Naomi was born. Actually, I had to buy some more clothes because I always had something on me. So as your life changes, your wardrobe will change as well. And I do understand the argument, having said what I've just said, I understand the argument for keeping hold of things because you might need them in the future. But the things I would say against this are: 1, do you actually have the places to store them? 2, are they emotionally burdensome? And 3, are you maybe imagining that clothes are harder to get? And I am somebody who has not bought fast fashion or new clothes for nearly 10 years. Everything I buy is secondhand. I am very budget minded, and it is possible to buy clothes or obtain clothes, let's even say, because there are people that we might be able to get them from, family members and friends. The mentality behind holding on to things just in case isn't necessarily a healthy one because it's very much born out of fear. And I think that, the clothes that I will want to wear in the future, I will be able to find them when that time comes, and I will be able to find them at a price that I can afford, and they are there waiting for me when I need them. And that mentality of just expecting the universe in some way to cater to me stops me from living in fear. I am in no way saying that I am 100% correct by saying that, but just coming at it from that angle, from that way of thinking, from that perspective, means that I am not living in a place of fear. I'm not grabbing, I'm not grasping, I'm not trying to control everything, It's quite stoic, really. And finally, I redefined enough by realizing that it's not about deprivation. It is about relationship. Enough is not a number. You Google minimalism, you'll be told you need 7 tops and 2 pairs of jeans. But enough is about the relationship between your actual life, your values, your body, your time, your climate, your energy, the season it is, the things you like, your tolerance for maintenance. Enough is the point where the things that you own support your life without taking over. For example, we have been living in Japan this whole time without any laundry baskets. It's one of those things that every single day it chips away at me. I appreciate, I'm very fortunate for that to be an issue. It's one of those little things that every single day is just a bit, because the laundry's just in a big pile in one of the cupboards. It irks me. That's the word I'm looking for. I am irked by my lack of laundry basket. So it's not more minimalist of me to not own laundry baskets. Like, I'm not some insane, amazing hardcore minimalist because I refuse to own laundry baskets. I have reached a point where I now can very much see that I don't have enough laundry baskets. And in that same point, if I own 7 laundry baskets, that's too many. More of something isn't better. Less of something isn't better. Having the right amount is what we're aiming for. And when it comes to laundry baskets, super, super easy. We want 2. One for darks and one for whites. Easy peasy. It's for the other areas of life where things get a bit tricky. I feel I should just explain, actually. The reason that I've not bought a laundry basket yet is because there's a cupboard that I want to keep them in and it's quite narrow and I haven't found the right ones yet, just to be really clear. I'm not boycotting big laundry basket or anything. And this is something I think people misunderstand with minimalism, because the goal was never to own as little as possible. The goal was to stop being owned by all of the potential imaginary lives that I was keeping open as possibilities. It taught me to pay attention to what I was choosing and what it cost me and whether things still belong as my life changes. I do think that our wardrobes need to tell the truth. They need to tell the truth about our lives and our bodies and our values and our seasons and what your actual regular Tuesday morning looks like. Because that is where we live. We live on those mundane Tuesday mornings. We don't always live in the film premiere that we somehow get invited to. The truth behind this is that there is a little bit of grief. There will be a bit of mourning. There will be an element of you feeling in some way like you have given up on a future that you desired in some way. But let me tell you, you are not giving up. There is no element of giving up. You are more likely to move towards the future that you desire, that you want to create, if you actually take those steps to build the relationship with who you are today. Choosing yourself today is not giving up on who you hoped you'd be tomorrow. And they were the 5 reasons that I decluttered 90% of my wardrobe. I will show you what it looks like now. The top there is mine. That's Naomi stuff at the bottom. And I have some longer items there. Let me know if you'd like to see a more in-depth wardrobe tour. I can't do that right now because so much of my stuff is in the wash because of sweating. It's really, Japan is very, very warm, very, very humid. And I feel like I have to say this again. Decluttering isn't necessarily the answer to everything, but in our modern day of overconsumption and of looking outside of ourselves for answers, I do think it is a way of kind of carving away all that isn't helpful until you're left with only that which might be. And I think within that, there will be an answer or two that can help you move forwards into a beautiful future, into a life that feels like yours. Don't forget to subscribe and join my newsletter if you'd like to hear from me. And I will see you later. Sending lots of love. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Go and tell me